Hey everyone, Matt Saladona here in Port St. Lucie. In this monthly market update, I'm going to be covering the month of August across all of PSL and then also here in Tradition. And then after, I'm going to take you on site to one of our most exciting new developments, the Grove Riverfront Dining Experience. So let's get started. Alright, starting with the market updates, we are going to be starting with PSL as a whole, and in August, the median sales price was $419,000, which is about a 2% increase from July and essentially flat from this time last year. The average sales price was up to $442,000, which is about a 3% increase from July and about a 1.5% decrease from this time last year. The price per square foot came in at $227 per square foot, which is about $3 less than it was last month and about 5% less than this time last year, just meaning that buyers are getting a little bit more house for their dollar, and also that there might have been larger homes sold this month compared to this time last year. The closed sales in Port St. Lucie was 379 closed sales, which is a 10% drop from July and a 20% drop from this time last year. And the days to contract was 82 days in August, and it was just 83 days in July, while being 25% longer than this time last year. So to quickly recap the PSL market, we are seeing less sales, taking longer time to sell, but the pricing is staying similar enough to this time last year. And as I said, that was PSL as a whole. Now we're going to be zooming into the Tradition area, or the 34987 zip code. In Tradition, the median sales price was just under $500,000, which was a 4% increase from July and a 6% increase from this time last year. The average price in Tradition was $531,000, which is just a slight bump from July and about a 2% increase from last year. The price per square foot in August in Tradition was $235, which is about a 4.5% decrease than what we saw this time last year. Again, showing that buyers are getting a little bit more house for their dollar. The days to contract in Tradition was 116 days, which was a 12% increase from July and a 40% increase from this time last year. Now it's a little bit trickier in Tradition because you have communities like Verano, Riverland, even Manderley, or any older Mattamy Homes communities that sold out, where these resale homes in these communities are directly competing with brand new homes of the exact same floor plan. So those neighborhoods do tend to take a little bit longer to sell. And also you'll have the builders, when they're building a spec home, they will list these homes while they are still under construction. So they're really lengthening out the days on market from all of the spec homes as well in the area. So days to contract in Tradition is just a little bit fuzzy. That's why you'll see a very big jump there from this time last year. But it's still something to keep in mind that as a whole, the market days to contract is higher around this time than it was last year. And of course, interest rates are always going to be a part of the story. So at the end of August, the interest rates got as low as 6.56%. And now comparing it to this time last year, the lowest interest rate in August of 2024 was 6.36%. So it was still a little bit less last year, but they did obviously tick back up, and now they're on the downswing again, where there are a lot of buyers waiting in the wings for these interest rates to continue dropping. And there are many reports stating that there should be more interest rate drops right now on this downswing that we are seeing. We're even seeing cash buyers more motivated to purchase now because they are very bullish on the fact that interest rates will go down, and when they do, that is going to increase the prices of the area. So that's just something we're seeing. Loan-driven buyers are waiting for the rates to drop, and cash buyers are jumping into the market to get these prices before the interest rates go down. Just as on the ground, what we are seeing in this Port St. Lucie market. Now, this isn't a market update. I would love to add each month to keep you fully informed on the Port St. Lucie market. I'm also working with builders to get their numbers each month so I can have the up-to-date new construction sales of the Tradition area as well. So if there are any other stats that you would like me to cover monthly, please comment them below or let me know if you're interested in any other stats for your monthly market updates. And now we are going to be heading on over to the Grove to talk about this very exciting and awesome development that we have. So let's head on outside. Here we are at the Port District, and behind me is the future site of the Grove, a riverfront dining experience that is set to bring an entirely new experience to Port St. Lucie. The Grove is going to be located directly next to the Pioneer Park and the Botanical Gardens that are also located at the Port District, really making for some amazing outdoor entertainment and activities for family and friends to get outside and enjoy the Florida weather as well as the beautiful river scenic view. The Grove is set to be a culinary garden made up of 7 unique venues instead of just one big restaurant. The way that they envision it is to be like a deconstructed food hall or outdoor food court where people are able to grab different foods like pizza, sushi, seafood, and more, and still be able to sit together and enjoy these riverfront views. The Grove is being developed by Suda in partnership with the nationally recognized Atlas Restaurant Group, which operates over 50 dining concepts all over the US. This way, they are bringing together local vision and national expertise. The Grove Phase 1 is set to break ground this month, September of 2025, and will be opening in early 2027. The 5 restaurants that we currently have that are going to be built are going to be Salt River, which is going to be a 2-story dining experience focusing on largely seafood, the Italian Disco, which is going to be a pizza and subs with a retro 70s vibe, then going to have Cannon, which is going to be a Japanese flavors, sushi, bento boxes. Then we're going to have the Grove Bar, which is going to be craft beers and cocktails surrounded by luscious landscaping. And lastly, we are going to have the Tiki Bar, spelled Tequi, and this is a tequila forward bar that is taking a fun twist on a tiki bar and is going to be perfectly located on this project where you'll get beautiful sunset views over the river. What's even better is the design. The city has brought in mature oak trees, and with the extension of the boardwalk now going underneath the PSL bridge is allowing more walkability and parking. The idea for this project is to blend the buildings in with the environment so that the river stays the main focus. And this is just phase 1. They're also going to be adding 2 more venues in the future. They're debating between a Mediterranean and grill, but they're waiting to see what the feedback from phase 1 is looking like before they're locking down any additional venues. So for a quick recap, PSL's markets are steady, with interest rates always being the key factor, which we will keep looking at in our monthly market updates. And as for the Grove, this is set to be one of the most exciting additions to the area. And if you know you are looking at Port St. Lucie to move here, I would be happy to be your go-to real estate resource of choice. You can scan the QR code on the screen to get started. And if you have any questions about PSL, you can also reach out to me directly. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you next time.